Hi. You may have noticed that I missed my upload last month. Sorry about that. Although, not to, I guess I'm biased, but I think that I had a pretty good reason for doing so. The first reason, the more minor reason, is that I was in a show that was open for 2 weekends, the last weekend of February and the first weekend of March. It was actually Sideways Stories Sideways Stories from we messed up this title the entire time. Sideways Stories from Wayside School. It was based off of the novels. You might have read them when you were a kid. I played Leslie, the girl with the long pigtails who had to stand on her head to read the board. The dude who, in the book it was a dude who had to stand on his head and read the board. They merged a bunch of characters. But that was me! Look at the pigtails. It was so fun. I had a lot of fun. Good show. The other reason that this video is late is because I was dealing with some very serious medical issues. I mean, I kind of still am, but you can probably guess from the title, so I'll make this quick. Basically, in August, I was like, oh wow, I have really bad heartburn, like the worst heartburn I've ever had in my life. Like, can't drink water because it hurts so much, so I could pretty much only drink milk for a while. But then I found some medication that fixed the problem and it was fine. And then a few months later, I started getting little tummy aches, and I was like, oh no, my tummy hurts, that sucks. And then a few months later, it got so bad that I felt like someone was stabbing me in the stomach, and I was missing classes, and I couldn't go places, and I would lay on my bed curled up in a ball crying. And it occurred to me that perhaps it was a problem. And I went to several doctors, and none of them knew what was wrong, and long story short, I have Crohn's disease. If you don't know, Crohn's disease is... I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what it is either. It's a chronic inflammatory condition in your digestive tract. When I say chronic, I don't mean just like gonna have it for a little while. I mean I'm gonna deal with this until the day I die, which I'm super excited about. But most importantly, Pete Davidson has Crohn's disease. So it could be worse. Like, no, I don't want to have a chronic illness, but maybe this will do wonders for my comedy career. Because despite what they tell you kids, correlation equals causation every single time. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw an ad. I should have screenshotted it, but I didn't, so just take my word for it. And it was advertising a stuffed animal that had fibromyalgia. And if you don't know what fibromyalgia is, I don't know anything about it, actually. The only thing I know about it is that it is another chronic illness, so what it does, I don't know. But the point is that I'd seen stuff like this before, you know, stuffed animals that have either like a mental illness or a physical disability, and the idea is that if someone in your life has the thing that the stuffed animal has, you get it for them, and it's cute. Like if you know someone with fibromyalgia, you get them the fibromyalgia stuffed animal, and then they have fibromyalgia together. I think that's really cute. I think that's really cute. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Etsy and see if they have anything like that for Crohn's disease. And I decided to go wide, so I just typed into the Etsy search bar Crohn's disease, and I couldn't find any stuffed animals with Crohn's disease. However, I did find what I can only describe as Crohn's disease merchandise. So I kind of wanted to talk about it. So, I have a couple things that I want to show you. Most of it, I think, is fine. Like, I'm gonna riff on all of it, but I do want to make it clear that, like, there are very few things on here. In fact, there might just be the one thing on here that I think is, like, actually harmful. But first, I wanted to start with some stuff that I actually thought was cute. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of it, but, you know, it's cute. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the ones that I find cute, the ones that I could imagine buying myself. And to start, I like this one. Sorry your intestines tried to kill you. There's not much to say here. I appreciate it. I don't know why, but I think the drawing of the intestines just makes it funnier for reasons that I can't explain. It appears to be a digital file, so I don't know how it's low in stock, but you know, there are many things that I don't understand about the world. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. And this is loading very slowly. I don't know why it loaded like this, but it says, my tummy hurts, but I'm being really brave about it. I like this one because I feel like it doesn't take itself very seriously. There's another I saw that I didn't include because it was like basically the same thing, and I want to kind of only briefly go over the ones that I think are funny, because it's not as funny to joke about things by going, I like this. It just doesn't make for as good a comedy. But the other one I saw was like Tummy Ache Survivor. I like it when they don't take themselves seriously, because as you will see with the t-shirts later, some of them take themselves very seriously, and I don't know if tummy aches warrant. I mean, you know, they're not good. I told you about how bad they got, but it just seems, well, you'll see. Anyways, tummy hurts, being really brave about it. Gold star. Yeah, okay, they're all loading weird now, so, but anyway, this is a gold lapel pin. Or I don't know, it's not real gold, obviously, but it's your intestines. I like that it's not even really Crohn's disease related. So if someone doesn't know you and sees you wearing this, they're just gonna think you're weird, and I appreciate that. I think that's very fun. This one is this one requires some explanation, because the reason I clicked on it and saved it is because I was very confused. The purple makes sense, as you will see. Purple is kind of the color for Crohn's disease, it looks like. But if you're wondering why there's a spoon on here, so I've heard the term spoon theory thrown around a couple times. It's funny because I've actually heard it more in reference to mental health, but apparently it was originally created when referring to chronic illnesses, which makes more sense, so I don't know why I heard it referred to as mental health. But the theory basically goes that, like, every person has a certain amount of spoons, and every action you do uses a certain amount of spoons. So, like, brushing your teeth is 1 spoon, whereas, like, going to work is 5 spoons. And if you run out of spoons, you can't do anything else for the day. And the idea was that people with chronic illnesses have fewer spoons. So it's energy. It takes more energy to do stuff if you have a chronic illness. Which is great. I've never understood why it's a spoon, you know? Like, on one hand, my impulse is to be like, why isn't it something, like, why isn't it just energy? Like, everyone gets certain amount of energy points, or even money, if you want to use an analogy, like everyone gets a certain amount of money and it costs money to do stuff, because that's comparable to something, those are both comparable to stuff you spend. Although for the money example, it occurs to me that, like, if you say to someone like, hey, I'm out of money, they're not going to assume that that's an analogy for being out of energy for the day. They're going to just assume you're broke. Whereas if you tell someone that I'm out of spoons, and they know what spoon theory is, they're gonna know what you're talking about. I still don't understand why it's spoons. Like, no hate to the analogy. I think that because spoon theory has become a semi-known term, it's pretty helpful to get people to understand it. I'm just not entirely sure why it's a spoon. But the necklace itself is cute, though. I don't know if I'd wear it, but I think it's cute. Here we get to, this one's, a lot of them say for Crohn's and colitis, which I don't know what colitis is, but I assume it's similar. It says, I'm speeding because I have to poop. It's a fine joke. The only reason that I pull it up is because my problem with it is that it's not a bumper sticker. because if your intent is to like show this to a cop that's pulled you over and you really need to use the bathroom and you're like showing up a keychain, like, but if you put it as a bumper sticker, perhaps that will be more, proactive for the situation. It's also $20, which seems like a lot of money for a keychain. Although it says Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, so maybe it's for a good cause. I also don't know if I own a keychain, so maybe I just don't know what the average keychain costs. Anyway, like the idea, I think it could be more proactive, and it's made out of silver, maybe that's why it's $20. Anyway, next thing. Some of these are loading weird. Anyway, these are a car coaster that say Crohn's disease. And first of all, I find that eye thing to be super creepy, just like the ribbon in the eye. Maybe I'm a jerk, but it's very surreal. Whoops. The real problem that I had with it is that I clicked on it and I was confused as to why it was an eye and why it had such prominent dark circles. And I was like, is this a Crohn's disease thing? And I Googled it, and it looks like, well, there's not like a ton of like scientific references about people with Crohn's disease having dark circles. That's pretty commonly reported with people with Crohn's disease is heavy dark circles and like sunken eyes and stuff. I mentioned Pete Davidson, and he's pretty famous for having like some darkness around his eyes. And so this is on the list because it hurt my feelings. The problem is that most people get diagnosed with Crohn's when they are young adults. I'm 20 years old. That is young adult, but I have been joking about like the fact that I have pretty prominent dark circles for like as long as I can remember. I think I had it when I was like a younger teenager. I made a joke about it in a video once. Here's that clip. But besides the fact that I now seem to have permanent bags under my eyes, I think I turned out okay, so no harm, no foul, right? And I think that was like a year ago, so is there a chance that my Crohn's disease has been dormant for a while? Maybe. Another more horrifying possibility, is this like the starter color and it's gonna progressively get worse? I don't know, man, but the point is that this coaster hurt my feelings, and I had to find out about the dark circle thing through this coaster, so thanks. You should be ashamed of yourself. So remember earlier when I said that some of these t-shirts take themselves too seriously? So it says, someone I love needs a cure, and it's got the purple ribbon, and at first I was like, maybe this is for another kind of cancer, but nope, you'll see up here it says Crohn's disease. And I guess then the sin is that it is not about cancer. Like, no, okay, so again, the thing about Crohn's is that it is ongoing, there's no cure, but there are treatment options, and I feel like it's kind of hard to swallow to compare a chronic illness that is manageable with medication. I guess you're not comparing it by wearing this shirt. It just seems, I don't know, like it seems more intense than you need. There's also ones that you wear for your like siblings or friends. Like I saw one that's like, I wear this shirt for my sister with Crohn's, or I saw one that's like, I wear this shirt for my aunt with Crohn's, which seemed interesting. Two things about that. One, I think that if you buy and wear that shirt for someone that you love with Crohn's, it's a very sweet gesture. I'm not going to get mad at anyone for doing that, even if it, to me, seems a little bit melodramatic. Like, you're showing that you care about someone you love, and I can't fault anyone for that. But number two, if you're watching this, please don't wear a shirt that says someone I love needs a cure. Please, that's, like, I'm fine. Like, my tummy hurt for a really long time, and I will admit that there was a really bad, dark period, but it's treatable with medication. I'm not going to die. I feel like the someone I love needs a cure shirt should be reserved for things when people are gonna die. That's my hot take. So, on the other end of the taking yourself too seriously thing with Crohn's, there's the end where it's like talking about Crohn's like it is cancer. And then there's this end, which is talking about it like it's a good thing. So, I live with Crohn's. What's your superpower? I know I just went on and said that it's not cancer, but like, but it's not great. It gave me heartburn so bad that water hurts, and it gave me tummy aches so bad that I had to like uproot my entire life. Hey man, that's kind of a bad superpower, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure the Justice League would be down with that. I don't know if that qualifies as a superpower. I guess it now occurs to me that, like, the superpower is not Crohn's itself, but rather, like, the fact that you can live with it. But, like, what's the alternative, right? That's one of the things that people told me a lot when I was going through the process of everything, is they were like, you're so strong for dealing with this. And, like, I appreciate it. But, like, what's the alternative, right? Like, it'd be one thing if I was, like, fighting to stay alive, but, like, it wasn't lethal, it just hurt a lot. And and I don't know how brave I am for having a tummy ache and not killing myself about it. This shirt would be super cool if it would load for me. Okay, my computer is not loading, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stop the recording on here, close this, and pull up the remaining stuff on my phone. I have the list of the order I'm doing it, so I need to, like... Okay, we're back. Okay, yeah, this is another shirt that takes itself too seriously. Let me just zoom in here. The devil said, "You're not brave enough to weather this storm." But I told the devil I am the storm. Crohn's warrior. Did the devil give me Crohn's disease? Jesus Christ, dude. I know I don't pray as often as I should, but I didn't think he would give me Crohn's disease. I pray sometimes. And I'm Jewish. We don't even believe in the devil. And I was so bad at praying that he came into the existence of my religion to give me Crohn's disease? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay, this is our last piece of clothing. As you can see, it is a little onesie that says Crohn's disease warrior. And like, as much as I poke fun at like the Crohn's is a superpower shirt, if you're a kid and you have a chronic condition, or God forbid a baby, I don't think there's any, or even if you're an adult really, I don't think there's anything wrong with, embracing it as a superpower, because I think for people that can be really helpful in terms of coping. For me, if someone tried to tell me that this was a superpower, well, I try to keep this channel family friendly, so I'm not going to tell you where I would tell them to put that statement. But that is not something that I find comfort in. I find comfort in stuff like the tummy ache survivor, like making a joke of it, acknowledging that, like, yeah, it sucked. I don't want to pretend that, like, this has been completely nothing. But I don't want to... I also don't want to wallow in it. I think the middle ground of, like, acknowledging that it sucks and joking about it, to me that is much more helpful than, treating it like it is going to ruin the rest of my life, and also or treating it like a superpower. But if you're a kid, or again, if you're an adult, you should take whatever end of the spectrum is going to make you feel better about your chronic condition. I don't have a problem with the phrase Crohn's disease warrior. I do have a problem with the fact that this is a onesie, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, you can't get diagnosed with Crohn's disease until you're a young adult. Okay, wait, let me clarify that. I don't know if you need to be a young adult. I know that, like, there is early onset Crohn's that happens when you're a little younger, and I also, as I said, I'm 20 years old now. Woot woot. At the month I'm recording this, I turned 20. Crazy. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I meant to. I'm 20 years old now. Isn't that wild? I started experiencing symptoms when I was 19. That's, as far as I'm aware, a little on the younger side. I don't think it's early enough to be early onset Crohn's, but it's younger. Like, most people get diagnosed in their mid to late 20s. It's as before 30. I'm pretty sure that you cannot get Crohn's disease as a baby, and even if you can, I don't know if it happens frequently enough to justify a onesie. But let me know in the comments if that is not true and if I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I very well might not. The last thing on this list is less fun. This is the thing that I was like, I don't know about this one, Chief. And frankly, I'm picking on this one in particular when really it's a stand-in for a lot of the stuff that I didn't know was on Etsy that I actually think is really not great. And that would be, it says, wormwood extract internal parasite killer. And I don't have a problem with wormwood itself. I Google, the problem is that I don't think you should be buying medicine off Etsy. And like, I saw another one that was like a massage oil for your abdomen, which, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that works. I've experienced a lot of tummy aches, and I have tried to like rub the area, and for me it does nothing, and maybe it does something for you, but I promise that even if, rubbing the area manages to give you some relief, I think it was probably the massage and not whatever oils were in the thing. But like a lot, even that, I also saw crystals, and like I think crystals are cool. I am 20 years old. I have crystals. I'm all for like witchy stuff. I've done 2 spell jars for this YouTube channel, and yes, I keep amethyst next to my bed because one of my friends told me it'll give me cooler dreams. Like I said, I'm Jewish. I consider myself like a little spiritual. I dabble in stuff, but like don't get crystals for medical stuff. And even like the crystals stuff, again, the thing that I look for in stuff like this is what does the description say? Because if it says something like do not use this in lieu of real medical treatment, then it's like whatever. This one though says talks about wormwood, talks about what it can do, and I briefly Googled it, and it does seem that wormwood helps relieve some symptoms of Crohn's disease. I can't speak to anything about it being anti-parasitic because I'm gonna be honest, I did not research all that because I don't care. You'll see down here though, it says studies suggest that wormwood may help relieve Crohn's disease, which is characterized by the inflammation of the lining of the digestive tract. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I really don't like how it says relieve Crohn's disease instead of relieve symptoms. Again, like maybe I'm really splitting hairs, but I feel like if you're buying medicine off Etsy or selling medicine on Etsy, you should be really clear what stuff does. I don't want people... And it also does not say, which again I think is really important, anything about, hey, if you've got, go to the doctor about Crohn's disease, because it's like a thing. Like, it's not cancer, but it's definitely a thing. I don't know. I don't want to get too down on this video, but I did want to feel the need to include that because don't treat Crohn's disease with stuff you get on Etsy. That's, if you take away anything from this video, please go see a doctor. But that's all the stuff that I have. Let me know if there's other Crohn's disease themed merch that you would like me to review. I would be happy to look at more of it. How do I want to end this video? I guess I want to talk directly to... First of all, again, I'm riffing lightly on all this stuff. Nothing on here I thought was particularly harmful. So if you are selling, if you're watching this video and you happen to sell any of this Crohn's disease merch, I've said my thoughts about it and I'm not going to pretend that I was lying, but like, to each their own. And if you are watching this video and you have recently been diagnosed with Crohn's disease, or really any chronic illness, I think it's hard to talk directly to you because I imagine that, as we saw with the t-shirts, I think a lot of people handle it differently. For me, I did not like it when, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I guess I didn't dislike it, but it didn't help me much to be told how strong I was, because I didn't feel strong. It felt like there was nothing I could do. I felt it was in so much pain, and so I'm not going to tell you that you're so strong for, like, continuing to do this, because you're probably listening to it like, yeah, there's not really much of an alternative. I think what I'm going to tell you, because this is what helped me the most, is, oh my god, if you've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease, that sucks so much, and I'm so sorry, because wow. Like, maybe it sounds self-pitying, but that's what I wanted people to tell me. I wanted people to tell me, like, wow, you're probably in so much pain right now. Because I was. I wanted people to look at me and say, like, wow, I can see that this sucks, and not, you know? I don't know, maybe this makes no sense to you. Maybe you've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease and you're like, I don't want to be told how much this sucks. I want you to tell me I'm doing great. And if being told that you're doing great is what works for you, great. Like, do whatever it is that will make you feel better about this. I cannot stress that enough. And so it's hard. I was about to say have a support system, but that feels like kind of a lame thing to say. Like, if you don't have one, like, oh, you don't have people to look after you, find them. I think having a support system is really important, so if you can reach out to people, not only because for emotional reasons, but also for a lot of the procedures they're going to do, they're not going to let you drive home from the hospital yourself, so you're going to need someone, like, legally. I don't know, I'm not an expert on having Crohn's disease. I've only had it, I mean, I don't know how long I've had it, but I've only, like, strongly suspected I've had it since December, because in August I was just like, this is weird. Oh well. Also, my advice just generally to everybody is that if something is wrong, just go to the doctor, because I started having like stomach problems in October, and I thought that it would go away if I ignored it. And then I missed a bunch of classes because I felt like someone was stabbing me in the stomach, so maybe go to the doctor. I don't know. It'll be okay. I know that that's not what you want to hear. Like, when you're in the worst of it and you feel like you're dying and you're sobbing and you're missing your life, you don't want to hear someone go, it will be okay. But it will be, even if it doesn't feel like it, because it doesn't feel like it. But I dealt with it, and I'm getting the treatment I need, and I don't know if life is ever going to be the same again. But that's okay. That is okay. You have to know that it's going to be okay. I don't know. It got very serious at the end there, but I don't know. I wanted people, if anyone is watching this who is going through something, to know it does suck. You'll be fine. And then someday you'll be looking at Etsy merch, laughing it off. I will hopefully see you guys next month, unless I get another lifelong condition, in which case I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.